Meeting order, it's Friday, November the 1st, budget meeting. We'll go into number 2, 2020 budget review. Ms. Kate?
Thank you, Mr. Joe. I think you all have a copy of the packet on your computer, and everyone in the crowd has a copy, so I won't worry about the presentation on the projector. So first slide goes for today, and we're going to try to be brief. I know we have a lot to get to, so we're going to look at the September cash balances. We're going to review some cost-saving measures that were implemented by this jury back when you first came into office in 2012. The 2020 budget draft, and then we're going to break for an executive session so you can do your evaluations on both the LEP director and your administrator evaluation. We will accept any budget requests after that, after we come back from an executive session, and then we'll shortly, I have a few community water enrichment and LGAP funding opportunities that we need to select projects to apply for. So next slide, September, and that date's wrong, I'm sorry, September 2020 cash balances. General fund, as of September, we had $12.6 million in our general fund, $1.6 million in our courthouse and jail fund. Health unit is $898,000. Parish-wide garbage is $2.5 million, and the library has $3.4 million. All the fire districts are listed under that. You'll see that Johnson Bayou Fire is at 0. We have permission to lend them the $610,000 if they need it. We're gonna wait till December and see how much of their CWIP money comes in and their tax money comes in, so we can make sure that we don't lend them too much. We're just gonna lend them not to exceed $610,000 now. The next slide is our little chart. This is talking about general fund revenue and expenditures. And the three cost-saving strategies, I think that we had visited, let's see, our subcommittee, which was a few years ago. We started making changes to our salary line items. As people were retiring, we weren't replacing them. If we did replace them, it was with entry-level positions, and we promoted within. So in 2013, which is the blue, we were paying out $584,000 in salaries out of our general fund. If you fast forward to 2017, we were paying out $514,000 a year. And our 2020 budget, we are expecting to pay out $525,000 in salaries. So over that 7-year time span, our with inflation and everything, we're still significantly lower in salaries as we were back in 2013. The next thing, office supplies. We did really a lot of research. We tried to convert anything that was paper over to digital form if we were able to. So that resulted in, from 2013, paying out $17,000 worth of office supplies and paper. We cut it all the way down to $8,000. And then the last thing that you guys wanted us to cut back on were professional fees. So we renegotiated any of our professional fee service contracts. We let some of them lapse and trained some of our staff on how to perform these services, mainly like generator maintenance and any type of elevator, diagnosing any problems with the elevator, only calling out if we couldn't fix it ourselves. So when you look at those, 2013 versus 2020 budget, that's $600,000 we were able to cut just on that alone. So I'd like for you all to just really pat yourself on the back, because everything that you wanted to do over the last 8 years, you've accomplished, and we're starting to see it in our budget. We're starting to see it in our cash balances. The next thing, the next slide that we are going to talk about was that enterprise lease program. You were the first jury to ever allow us to try this to see if it was going to save us any money or not. So in May 2017 is when we entered the program. Over that time, we've sold 24 vehicles from May 2017 until September of 2020. So as of right now, we're paying $10,500 a month on vehicles. When you take into account all of our surplus money that we were able to get by sending everything to the Gwen auctions, we still haven't paid a penny on our new vehicles right now since May. We still have a $17,000 credit. right now. So
All
since
the-
May, we
all the new
haven't,
vehicles.
all vehicles.
Everybody,
So we have not,
Everybody got one though.
yes.
Everybody got one.
So that's, so this will be, October will be November will be the first month that we're gonna see we're paying out cash for our vehicles. We have 3 more vehicles that we want to convert over to the lease program out of our 5-year tiered strategy that we had started implementing. Once we sell those, we'll have every vehicle, Parish vehicle on the enterprise lease program. And we'll be talking about selling our leased vehicles and accumulating a surplus and a credit to pay toward our new vehicles that we replace it. So far, it's paying off for us.
good.
Nah. Anyway.
So the next slide is the budget, 2020 budget summary. This is just the general fund, all of our special revenue funds combined, and then our capital project funds. The general fund is, we're opening the year with a $12.8 million fund balance. After you take into account our budgeted revenue, our expenditures, and our funding uses, we are looking at adopting a budget with a $153 surplus. Now, this is before we have budget requests. If we have any capital project money to allocate, if we're gonna have to purchase any capital assets, that of course is gonna come out of our surplus fund balance. But right now, you're looking at a balanced budget. So congratulations.
There we go. Keep up the good work.
So I don't know, if you go behind the tab, there's the budget in detail, every fund. I have the first page is the summaries, and then behind it is the details. I don't know if you want to go through all that. Is there a particular fund you want to look at? Do you want to wait and have questions after we have budget requests?
No, if it's good, I bet you everything will be fine. They're gonna change it. We can change a lot of stuff.
She gonna spend that $153 surplus?
How much surplus you got? How much surplus?
For the current year is 153,
The
but
current revenue and the current status of the budget. So that's good. It's always been, the last few years it's been negative. I mean, just,
You ain't got a surplus till you make the surplus.
so this was back then you have a surplus with the current, before you have the budget request.
Yeah,
It's
but we're
good.
gonna fix that.
Oh, no, I
next year.
thought, that's the little smart aleck
We're
remark.
gonna
Fix the
fix
spend
that.
at $153.
That surplus is gonna go way away.
We still paying $500,000 to the DA.
not just to the DA, criminal court.
That's her.
The judge is involved in the clerk of court. There's a lot of other.
But she got $1 million in the bank. We don't need to be paying her shit. Who? Let me put that in there. We don't need to be paying her shit. I got what's life on her.
They know what he won.
You usually give her $500,000 a year? Who? Jennifer. DA. And she got over $1 million in the bank? Tell her to spend down. That word's been used before.
Over,
Okay, any questions about the budget?
Yeah, that was a question about the budget. Are we doing it? Paying her or not?
I have a question. Lot of comments. I got one comment to this jury. That, the last 4 years I've been here, the staff and all the employees throughout the parish have done a marvelous job of cutting back and helping when we needed help. And me personally, I understand that we're getting at a time where we might need to go the other way for a while for personnel. But we're getting personnel charges that I can see in some places that are hampering the work getting done. And not in all locations, but some of the locations. So I think that's something, probably not this jury, but maybe the next jury will look at, trying to fix up where we got a better workforce workforce out there, or a bigger workforce to get the work done, but it's not good enough. Because I did get some complaints that it used to be like this, and then now it's more lax or more not getting done as fast or whatever.
Complaints about what?
Complaints about what?
But the grass get
You know how much rain we had?
Yeah, that's a good
That hindered a lot of things for us.
That's a contributing factor, but you know, you're getting down to crew sizes where you got 2 or 3 people. You may want to start thinking about getting a bigger, crew force out there. I'm just,
There's that, we had to cut services back.
Cut services.
Cut some of the services back and cut the grass, just go back cutting roads.
I mean, that all boils down to, you know, we do a lot.
I know.
And we asked all our crews and stuff to cut knot hire and all of this. And at the time, I didn't think it was a good idea.
Well, we've had
Still don't think it's good.
employees retired and then.
We don't replace them and stuff like that.
Because you put the whole burden on the staff, you put the whole burden on the crews out there today, you're gonna have to. You ain't gonna have no choice, but you have to fill some of these positions so you can move. You're gonna have to, you ain't gonna have a choice. Your budget is showing you today what you need to do right now. That's what it shows you.
Well, that's what I just said, ain't
Yeah.
I don't know what you
it? I mean, I don't understand that, but I mean, I understand. But at the same time, I just said.
Anything else on the budget?
Well, did anybody answer my question? We paying her $500,000 a year or what?
Well, Katie answered you, she said just not just her that we're paying that $500,000.
I can,
Whatever we paying her, we don't need to be paying her.
I don't think we have to.
Yeah, we have to pay her. She's higher, she gets more than Lake Charles gets, she gets more than Abbeville gets, and they got to double the staff she's got. All right?
Yeah, I understand all that, but I think the law dictates us that we have to pay her so much money.
No. What we think is reasonable.
That's the law.
And it's reasonable if somebody's got to double the staff and only paying $300-something thousand, and she's got half the staff and getting $500,000, got $1 million in the bank.
What's your suggestion?
I suggest we don't pay her a damn thing till she spends her money down.
really, it's, we have to provide resources to her, but it's not clearly defined how much.
That's right.
I think most places, what they do is, they operate, because it's not just, their court's not just, in one parish, it spans 2 or 3 different parishes, the most judicial courts across Louisiana. So what tends to happen is they operate and then they bill the different police juries whatever they need at the end of the year. And they're not running expenditures through the police jury every single month like we do. So when they're getting a bill at the end of the year, they tend to, I guess, maybe make sure that they're not being overzealous in what they're getting, and how many assistants they have, if they have investigators, how much in office supplies they're submitting. And there's a little more authority that the jury has to say, no, we're not gonna buy that. That's not kind of how things are being ran right now. That's something you could consider. That would be maybe one of the ways you could change it, is make her pay for all of her stuff ahead of time and then bill us. And then we know exactly how much we're spending on her, and sometimes that helps control the spending when it's coming out of their pocket, but that's really the only option you would have.
Hotels don't pay that much, and they got to double the staff.
Right now, you just can't come in and cut just because everything's already, like, her staff's being ran through us, so if we say, no, we're not paying anymore, then those people aren't gonna get paid. If we move and migrate the staff being paid out of her office and she bills us, well then, that's different. We can refuse to reimburse her for something, and she's still required to pay them, and then that turns into going to court. She says we owe her money, and then the court has to decide if we should pay it or not, what's reasonable or not. It's just a management style of how you guys want to move forward. The things that we can try to make sure that we limit is office supplies, copier maintenance, a lot of the extras that we provide for their office that is not really detailed in the statute, that we have to provide them telephone, copy machines, and office supplies. You do it herself. That's something you can say no to, but that's gonna have to be something that's done in the budget. You're gonna have to say, look, we're cutting their budget and the judge's office budget, we're not paying for office supplies or phones for them offices anymore, or copy machines. If they want it, they can pay for it, and if they think they need it, then they can fight us in court about it. That's really your only course of action, to cut that.
What we did some years back is we went to all our subsidiaries, or whatever you wanna call them, and we made them, all them big surpluses they had, we rolled them taxes back in them districts to make them use up that money.
Mhm.
Because we're not a bank over here,
Right.
you know, and we want everybody to have enough money, but not bank money, not no bank. And we made all our departments and all our, fire departments and all of that, you know, crunch that and get rid of some of that surplus.
Right.
I don't know how much control.
I mean, the only way, we can't, they don't have a tax, so we can't refuse to let them levy a tax if they have surplus funds. The only thing you can do is change your management style and set a budget and say that if they want to spend a penny over what they're budgeted, they have to come to you first and ask. That would be the only way that you could control the spending.
Maybe that's something we need to consider is set a budget, or
Everybody will have a
instead of.
Right.
Well, I mean.
Well, we have
that's-
a-
this
We
is
can
it.
set the
We
budget,
do have the
lower
budgets.
the budget down or something.
So the types of items that you can cut are the types of things that I've said, and that makes them pay for it out of their surplus funds. If they really need the paper and the copy machine, well, then they have the money to pay for it. And when they don't have the money to pay for it, then they can come and say, look, we're used our surplus funds and we need a copy machine. Can you please buy us a copy machine? That would be the changes in management that you could do. Or as they have employees who quit or retire, tell them we're not replacing them. And that's really the only way you could do it right now is with the budget.
Okay, all the evaluations, all the step increases, anything that we needed done is in the budget today.
Yes, we have one thing to talk about that's not in the budget, but it's considered a budget request that has to do with evaluations. But the general steps, everything is already reflected
It's all
in that
done.
budget, yes.
Except what's on the executive session, is that correct?
That, and Ms. Emily has
What she
something.
needs,
Mhm. And then, we have a reclassification to present,
okay?
that's it.
Okay, can you, do you know all this? Does everybody get in the steps? Everybody's getting step increases?
Everybody's in the step system, yes, they only get step increases if it is recommended by their supervisor.
Wait, there's some that did, that we're not gonna get it. One,
It was right, because it wasn't
the
recommended.
evaluation fell down.
Mhm.
But everybody, all our employees are in the step. program.
Yes,
Okay.
Darn it.
Right.
even the library
Is
employees,
anybody maxed out
yes. We have one employee who's maxed out,
out of our whole,
yes,
library included?
yes,
Good. So everybody getting ready?
yes,
Okay,
except for the one employee who's maxed out.
right. And our,
Unless they don't.
they're not in the steps.
No,
Unless they don't do that, it's not everybody do.
Oh,
Supervisor.
oh yeah, well, your department heads, he's right, department heads aren't in the classification system. So department heads are not, in there, it's just employees and foremen.
But you put it in there in the same, it's not presented, I mean, it didn't.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, any more budget questions? All right, that's it.
Do you want to do executive session now, or you want to do the budget request?
I will go to executive session. and we can-
Okay.
All right, number 3. We have moved to an executive session, second by Mr. Falk, all in favor, Mr. Lee? Roll call, Mr. Lee?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. Mr. Falk, yes. Mr. Pierce?
Yes.
Mr. Dawson? Yes. Mr. Dupont, yes, we in executive session. Call the meeting back to order. Talk move, second by Mr. Beard to come out of executive session.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Lee. Yes, Mr. Quinn. Mr. Falk. Mr. Dupont, yes. Mr. Beard?
Yes.
Everybody back out of executive session. I don't think no action was taken, we just did, evaluations of the parish administrator and the OEP guy. We got that done. Katie, you wanna talk about anything else about the step?
Yes, real quickly. So, in the budget request, recommendation to, grant step increases and department head step increases across the board. And then we have, Emily has the budget request.
Yeah. I got a couple things about the budget request too. That's what we're gonna move to next. We're gonna go to before you finish with your step increase.
Yes, I think that's, sorry, before the, step increases, now that we are talking about, our coastal coordinator resigned, we've been 2 weeks without her, for the last 2 months though, Kara's been chipping in and helping, attend all the meetings, all the functions. She is a floodplain manager certified. She's been the coastal zone administrator for the last 5 or 6 years. She has a wealth of knowledge. So instead of advertising and replacing a coastal coordinator, I would recommend that we transfer the duties over to the coastal zone administrator, which would be Cara Beth, and reclassify her position to be a comparable pay to what we were paying our coastal coordinator, which would be classed her at $59,000, which is what coastal coordinators, that's underpaid compared to everyone across the state of Louisiana.
Okay.
And then, since she's gonna be taking on those duties, I'd like to advertise to replace an entry-level position in the permit department to help issue permits, answer the phones, provide compliance monitoring for the staff. Miles is fully supportive of this move, and I've talked to Kara, and she's willing to take on the extra duties.
Okay. Is it on the meeting, the vote meeting?
Yes, authority to
Everybody
advertise.
good with that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, is that it?
That's it for budget requests for the pay step related. Now we have public works requests for garbage and for road and bridge.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I have a request for 197 for road and bridge and 37,000 out of garbage. Do you want me to tell you the items or?
$197,000? Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We're looking for a 30-foot fennel hitch trailer, a 25-foot gooseneck. This is replacement items, replacement. A 10-foot galvanized bush hog, and either a 22 or 24-foot slope mower with a 4x4 tractor for Hackberry.
2 trailers.
Yes, sir. 2 trailers, a bush hog, and a slope mower.
The old roads continues to give us a list.
Sorry,
I have the list. I'm sorry. I can, would you like for me to?
No.
Now, did the slope mower, is that the one that Dino was talking about, or the smaller one?
it is the smaller one. At the last meeting, he suggested a 22 or 24 foot, so I went with the prices for that. And if we decide to go to 24 foot, you're looking at like 149, so 150.
And that's your decision. I think if you're good with a 20 foot, we're good with that.
Yes, sir.
What you need is what you need out there. It's not us. You know what you need.
Yes, sir. Now, the only thing is I wouldn't be selling the one I have. Normally, we replace this one here, that the one they have in Hackberry would actually get moved to Johnson Bitey.
Okay, good. That sounds good.
And then on the garbage, we're looking at a lawnmower trailer, 2 zero-turn lawnmowers, a box trailer, and a box trailer. And that is replacement on all 3 of them.
Anybody question?
That's it?
Oh, good.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
I thought you wanted some big stuff, but you're good.
No, sir.
Okay, we're good. We'll move to number 5, it's CWEF/LGAP projects.
Yes, this is our local government assistance program and our community water enrichment fund program grant cycle. Applications are due December 1st, so on the voting meeting is authority for the president to sign the application. I don't know if it'll be obligated or not, but we requested all of the waterworks districts throughout the parish, and we talked amongst all the inner departments on if they had any projects they had shovel ready that we could put into the application for approval. I only received a response from Grand Lake Waterworks and Hackberry Waterworks. Grand Lake Waterworks has 2 projects totaling $140,000. Creo Waterworks, I did talk to Mary. She wasn't able to submit a proposal, but they do need to replace about $10,000 worth of water meters. And then Hackberry Waterworks submitted a project. One was already in the bidding stage, so it's not going to qualify for community water enrichment funds. The next project is to build a new well, but that's still 2-3 years away. So I would recommend that we just keep their project on file for next year maybe, and the timing might be a little bit more appropriate. But we have $308,000 that we can apply for between LGAP and Community Water Enrichment. So we have more than enough to apply for, to allocate the 140 to Grand Lake, the 10 to Creel, and then we could use the rest to purchase some of her supplies so we don't eat into too much of our surplus funds.
All right, good. Good stuff.
What they want to do in Grand Lake?
Grand Lake, the first project is change out 350 water meters.
Change them all.
And then the second project is change out 35 old or inoperable flush valves.
Y'all know what they're doing in Grand Lake up the waterworks? I seen somebody digging up meters.
Yeah, change
Yeah.
meters out.
Any other questions? Any questions? Okay, you got anything else?
No, sir, that's everything.
Yep, everybody good? All right. Meeting adjourned.